Welcome to Bastard Quest. I'm the Game Bastard Kyle.
I'm Todd.
Corey.
I'm Austin.
We are Klingonin.
Yep.
Klingonon, the last vestige of a sad morality, deemed irrelevant by popular society.
Happy 4th of July.
Yeah, happy
Yay.
4th of July. We're playing the Klingon RPG. I don't know what the official name of this is, because the front of the book is just a Klingon symbol with Klingon words.
We got the special one. It's Star Trek Adventures, the Klingon Empire.
Dawn of Justice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a 2D20 game from Odysseus.
Yep.
Set in the Star Trek universe where you play Klingons.
Ah.
Todd, tell me of your Klingon.
Well, I'm actually playing a secondary Klingon character now.
Oh, a member of the supporting cast of the crew?
Something happened to Zadar, and he's out for a while.
Sandwich problems.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's your supporting crew member?
Hawka!
Alrighty. So you rip a lot of shirts?
No, we established last time that his ridge actually grows, and he rips that apart on his forehead.
I see.
Yeah.
That's disturbing.
Does he get drunk at bars and slur?
Of course.
Things like that? Okay.
Corey, who are you playing today?
Playing Brandon, the young puberty guy.
Is that what the technical term?
Yes.
He is a youngish Klingon, but he has a high position on the crew on the ship of the Raj.
Yeah.
He's the executive officer.
That's right.
Yeah.
Joy Division aficionado.
Austin?
I'm, of course, Captain Momo Vorstock, captain of the Raj.
Would you say Captain Momo is a hugger or a hitter?
He's absolutely a hugger.
Yeah.
Even in times of violence when he may just squish you. But he's a hugger.
His forehead should be a face hugger from Alien. That would look so perfect. Oh, by the way, I've got an update on Austin's 18-person text thread.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do tell.
I went to the event yesterday. Thanks to Todd and Kyle for not fucking coming and giving me support.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was drinking mead.
I just didn't want to go.
Yeah.
I was here at home. I could have... No, that's not true. I was out of town.
I had the time of my life.
Did you meet 17 other people?
Children everywhere.
Yeah?
Just covered.
Uh-huh.
There were 2 children.
Yeah, but that's like saying there were only 2 towers that went down on that fateful September morning in one flat building.
Well, children are like dogs. When you add any more than one, it somehow feels like quadrupling the number.
Yeah.
It's suddenly overwhelming.
Yeah, like one dog or one child is manageable. 2 dogs is like feels like 4 dogs. If you have 5 children, you might as well have 23 people there.
Bastard Gallery,
True.
try to guess how many children Kyle has.
14.
Yep.
Technically 2, but I'm drowning.
But there's this thing I notice that parents do when they take their child to a event like that. They give them all the fucking sugar as a fuck you to the childless. The only thing I can think of. You gotta be a fucking psychopath if you're a parent. It's one of the worst things you can be. I hate y'all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, there's sometimes when the wife and I will have discussions like, yeah, maybe, you want to, like, make a human or something. And then, no, but wait, I'm not
No,
done.
Todd.
Then we spend time around actual children,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
like, we're never fucking again.
Get one whiff of them.
I don't even want to, like, jack off and have, like, some sperm accidentally go into my wife.
That's how it works.
yeah.
I don't want that either.
Don't swim in the same pool with her. Nothing.
Have you used this tub lately? Don't sit on it.
Don't use that wash rag.
That's why I invert my ejaculation.
It just goes into you?
Yes.
He just absorbs it.
Yeah.
Okay.
My abdomen is icky.
Oh, well, this is hopefully getting cut.
Klingon.
Yeah, so we have been playing the Klingon Star Trek for a minute now. I think this is episode 5, maybe?
It's 6, you idiot.
6? Oh, okay. I'm not good with numbers. Not since the accident.
It's the children.
Yeah. Yeah, so go back a few episodes if you want to start from the beginning, or if you don't care about that, enjoy. You're on Smith 114 in the Shackleton Expanse. Specifically, you were here investigating silence from a Klingon science outpost. You found all the members of the outpost put in some sort of chemically induced slumber.
Yeah. We were originally here hunting, I believe, an android?
Yes, you're still hunting an android.
Yeah.
Imco-gasm,
Yeah.
which is the only Klingon android.
Yep.
So you're split into 3 groups. There's Brandon and Momo, Ramp Corporal Barry Hill, who is a member of the Federation. Remember, your crew is some Federation plus Klingons.
Co-ed.
Barry Hill is mixed with, he's paired with Klingon redshirt number 3.
I'm sure they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, it's Hulka and another Federation officer, Brother Chuck. So you've split up into 3 groups. You're exploring this cave network.
Yeah.
You were following footprints which led you in here, and you've quickly lost those in the chaos of the cave. What strategy are each of your teams? Now, of course, you don't know what Hill and the Klingon redshirt are doing because they're off doing their NPC thing. And we're all no doubt riveted to hear what those
Well, they went
guys are
down
doing.
the chewing tunnel.
Yeah, the one where it looked like it was teeth.
Yeah.
And there were
Spinning and crunching. Yeah.
they were very brave.
It's just a Sarlacc's maw.
I'm not a mimic.
Just constantly acid erupting out of it.
The teeth and acid tunnel leading to, of course, the gigantic chamber with a glowing eye on a pedestal.
Yeah,
We'll see how they turn out.
pretty classic. So, what strategies are your 2 teams undertaking in your search for Imcogasm and answers as to what's going on?
Well, Brandon's turned the light on his tricorder. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is he using it in any way? Or
Yeah, he's looking at the wonders of the caverns.
I assume we keep following we're the lead group, Momo and Brandon. So I assume we just keep following the trail of footprints.
On the cave floor.
yeah,
Yeah.
that you've definitely lost, but that's interesting.
Oh,
But,
okay.
well, I do have a tricorder.
Yeah, I mean, if you'd like to use reason and science to get some readings,
Okay.
I'm sure you're good at that.
All right, cool. Then I will roll my most terrible stats.
All right.
Science and reason.
It's difficulty 2.
Corey, I will suggest, so Momo had invented that compact navigator.
Okay.
So what is your reason and science total?
8.
Okay, I have mine's not great either, but I do have a total of 9. If you want to assist me, I can use that navigator to also initiate my focus of navigation.
Now, let me ask you this, Austin. Your navigator, does it help you do science in caves you've never been in before and find places you don't know the destination of?
I was thinking maybe we could use the navigator to basically perform some Star Trek advanced version of LiDAR, where it keeps sending waves throughout this cave, and we start getting a reading of where the waves intersect with solid surfaces, and it'll help us form kind of a map.
I would say I don't feel like your early description of the navigator covered that. So if you want to do some Star Trek science mumbo jumbo to modify it, I'd be open to that.
Okay.
But that's definitely going to be some independent, like science plus, probably science plus reason
Okay.
to modify it.
What if I used engineering and reason?
I would accept engineering and reason.
Okay. So then I'm going to say Momo uses his navigator, which we'll say it can't do that because it is a static navigation device, which only works with like existing maps. What if Momo used some of the parts of a disassembled communicator
To modify
to
it?
actually modify it into sending out and receiving waves?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Just make sure you divert something. This is Star Trek.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, divert the neutronium.
All right. So then now I'm rolling a total of 10 with a reason of 8 and engineer of 2.
Am I still helping with this?
I would say since he invented this thing and he's the only one that really knows anything about it, this is a roll just to modify his device.
Okay.
Not actually scan the area.
Gotcha.
So this is difficulty 2.
Okay.
Also, I don't think Brandon, he's primarily a diplomat and a face puncher.
Yeah.
So also will have to roll this alone.
Okay. Can I use my focus of navigation here
Nope.
since I'm using the navigator?
Absolutely not.
All right. So then just, we have no momentum, so just raw dog in a 10 here. Actually, how many threat do you have, Kyle?
I have 3 right now.
Do you?
I'll take more.
Yeah, take one. I'll get one die from you. There's a 7, a 4, and a 9, so we take 1 momentum.
Yeah, you modify your navigation device to be a crude echolocator, and you can use that to modify your science and reason to map out the interior of the cave you're exploring.
Okay. And so for that one, I can use the navigation focus, right?
Correct.
Which I guess doesn't actually matter since my science is a 1.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
But Brandon can help with this,
Okay.
Corey, if you want to roll an assist prior.
Sure. Is this still reason and science?
It is, yes.
Okay. Target number 9. 1 die, right?
Yep.
That's a 15.
How does Brandon impede Momo unintentionally?
Well, Brandon keeps wanting to take breaks. You have to give me one.
Klingon labor laws.
Very strict.
His legs hurt. He's still growing.
So, Austin, you're at difficulty 3 now.
Okay. I'm not spending that momentum on this. If we get lost, we get lost. So I'm just trying to beat a 9 now. Oh, I did not roll that. I rolled a 13 and an 18.
So that's a total failure.
Yeah.
So we'll get back to what happens to you guys in a minute. Todd, Hulka, and Brother Chuck.
Yes.
We're exploring a different passageway.
Yeah, he doesn't even have his tricorder out, or he's just stomping through the cave, asking if anybody's there.
Okay.
Hey, if anybody's there, come on out, brother. We are friendly. We want to be your friends. We don't want to hurt you in any way whatsoever. Hey, Brother Chuck, brother.
What discipline and attribute are you using to seek out new life?
I am thinking daring and command. Either that or presence and command.
I think probably presence, since that's your force of personality.
Yeah. So my presence is an 8, command is 2, so it's going to be a target number 10.
All right. Brother Chuck is not helping in any way.
I thought not.
Yeah.
What's the difficulty, Kyle?
It's going to be difficulty 2.
Okay. Oh, so close. A 10 and a 12.
You were moving down this winding cave passage, calling out, as Hulka does.
Just banging his batleth against stalactites and stalagmites. Come on out, brother. Everything is fine.
Brother Chuck is just laser focused on your taut buttocks.
Yeah. And you hear a voice up ahead say in some alien language, responds back to you. Now, what does Hulka know of the wider galaxy and its cultures?
Not much. Pretty much Klingon is all he knows.
You don't recognize the language.
Speak Klingon, brother.
Brother Chuck steps up beside you. Did you hear that? I wonder what it was. Might have been something scary.
On this planet, we speak Klingon, brother. Love it or leave it.
So then you hear call out in Klingon, do not worry, we are friends. You may approach.
Okay, brother. Brother Chuck, brother, let's go talk to this fella.
All right, they seem friendly. You turn a corner and there's a larger room, or at least you get the sense of it. It's hard to tell because there's bright lights shining down on you. And you can see dark figures beneath these lights. It's hard to tell who or what they are. But they're speaking to you in Klingon. Do not worry, we are friends. We are, of course, Klingons, which you may approach safely and without resorting to any sort of violence with your weapons, as all good Klingons do.
You sure you're Klingons, brother? That doesn't sound very Klingon to me. My name is Hulka. I'm a real Klingon hero, brother. You don't want Hulka mania running wild.
If we weren't Klingons, then how would we speak Klingon?
Okay, you got a point, brother.
So you move into the center of the room, silhouetted by the lights, and as these figures emerge, you notice that they are not Klingons. They have no visible forehead ridges, but they do have pointed ears and dark green clothing that looks very Romulan to you. And they're pointing disruptor rifles at you. There are 5 of them.
Hey, what kind of Klingons are you?
We lied. We are actually Romulans.
Damn.
Very dramatic.
Wow.
Brother Chuck, brother, I believe we've been bamboozled.
No, only you. And he tears off his wig, and he has Romulan ears.
Oh, God damn it.
I am a Romulan masquerading as a sex pervert. You never suspected because you're all degenerates. And he has his disruptor pistol. Well, he's fake Federation officer, so he would have a phaser. He steps back from you. You are now captured.
Hulka mania, engage! And he reaches up and starts tearing apart the flaps of skin on his forehead ridge.
Okay. And are you initiating combat?
Yes.
Well, the Romulans assumed you would surrender because that's what a Romulan would do faced with overwhelming odds. So they are actually surprised when you attack.
Yeah.
So there's 5 regular Romulans. You are partially blinded by the bright lights they have on you in this larger cave chamber. And Brother Chuck is behind you with a phaser leveled. But you get to act first, Todd. So what is Hulka doing?
I'm assuming Hulka has a batleth or...
Yeah, I think you said earlier he was using a batleth, so
yes.
I'll say you got that.
The first thing he is going to do is flip around and try to take out Brother Chuck.
Hell
with
yeah.
the batleth.
All right. So in this system, hand-to-hand is your melee attack versus his, essentially. So daring and security versus daring and security. Does Hulka have any focuses other than forehead ripping?
He does have focuses. NPCs get to choose some focuses and also some special rules.
Oh, interesting.
And one of his special rules is threatening.
I see.
So I can generate a threat.
All right.
And if I do that, I get an additional D20, plus I get to re-roll.
Okay.
Is the re-roll just on one die, I think, though, or is it?
Yeah, it would re-roll. It'd be one re-roll of one of your D20s.
Yes.
So I assume you're going to immediately do that.
Absolutely.
So you got 3 D20.
3 D20, and my target number is 11. Let me go ahead and tell you what Hulka's focuses are. They are punch,
Good one.
intimidate, knife, kill,
Butterfly suplex.
well, leg drop, and guitar.
Which one are you using right now?
Kill.
Gotcha. All right, I'll allow it.
So is that another D20 or?
No. Remember, it just makes your crit range higher.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So whatever your security is.
Yes. So now my security is 2. So
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
the
you
crit
doubled
range.
it.
Yeah.
Well, I rolled like absolute dog crap, so your difficulty's just 1.
Okay. Well, I rolled a 11, a 5, and a 20. I'm going to re-roll that 20.
Smart.
All right, so 13, but I have a 5, so and an 11, so that's 2 successes. So we get a momentum.
Great. Now, instead of banking that momentum, do you just want to add it to your damage?
Sure.
All right. So you're using what, a batleth?
Yes.
So your damage right now is, I believe, 5 challenge die, and if you want to spend that momentum, you'd get an extra one for 6. You guys have a momentum banked, which you could always use without asking your compatriots to add another 7th die to your damage.
Let's see. I'm going to roll 6.
All right.
Okay, so that's a 2, a 1, and 2 6s. 7 damage altogether.
Well, I don't care for that.
Tough luck, Chuck.
So Chuck is an NPC. He doesn't have a huge amount of stress. How does he die?
Hulka whirls. The batleth flashes, reflecting off the light, temporarily blinding Brother Chuck. The batleth is fast, almost faster than the eye can comprehend. There is a hole in each of Brother Chuck's hands and each of his feet. And then the batleth enters his side. He is crucified against the wall of the cave.
Did you just stigmatize Brother Chuck?
I believe
I
they
did.
call that move
Yeah.
the stigmata.
Oh, I'm not a real chaplain. I'm a Romulan.
As Chuck bleeds out, Hulka looks him dead in the eye and says, "Try coming back from this after 3 days, brother."
The other Romulans, oh, Romulans attack! And they raise their disruptors and fire. They're going to make a range attack, standard difficulty of 2. But the difficulty increases by 1 if there's an enemy within your reach, which of course there is, because you're in a while the room you're in is large for a cave, it's still a cave. It's not like you have a lot of real estate to spread out in. So their difficulty is going to be 3.
So what's the practical logic of that? Is the assumption that like you could just pull the enemy in front of you like a human shield?
I think the logic is that we don't track every actual movement in the game or action. We're kind of hitting the highlights. So it's assumed that if you're in a combat, there's a lot going on. People are moving around, stabbing. This is a Klingon, so he's probably, as Todd described, whirling around the batleth like.
I see.
So they're going to attack. Romulans attack! Well, okay, that's decent for them. So that's going to be, that's only 2 hits. So their disruptor beams flaring all around the cave, disintegrating stalactites and stalagmites. One of them hits poor Chuck directly in the spleen. Todd, it is Hulka's turn. What are you going to do? There are 5 Romulans firing the disruptors at you.
Hulka is going to try to gain an advantage by getting the high ground, and he starts to shimmy up a stalagmite.
Okay, well, you can always move as a maneuver. That doesn't have to be your action necessarily.
Okay.
In this case, I will require a roll for it, but you can still do something if you successfully climb up the top of the cave. I mean, I think I know what's coming, but we'll see if it works. I feel like this is daring and security. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Target number 11.
Hulka's probably very experienced climbing up things, so we're going to say just difficulty 1.
Okay.
Though I think the Romulans firing at you does make it difficulty 2.
Okay. one of Hulka's special rules. The other one, apart from threatening, is proficiency. Whenever I am attempting a task that I would be naturally proficient in, I get a bonus D20.
All right, so roll 3d20. Hulk is just the best character.
He's like better than Zadar. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
right. How did that happen?
Well, not at genocide.
All right, target number 11. That's a 10, 19, and 20.
Jesus. Hulka sucks.
Does Hulka have any determination?
No, secondary characters don't get determination.
Todd, I assume your intent was to climb up and jump off the cave top rope, as it were.
So, yeah, the idea is to climb up to the top of the cave and take out all 5 of the Romulans with a swanton bomb.
Right. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you failed. You rolled a complication.
Yeah,
I'll let you attempt it, but there's going to be some unintended side effects.
sure.
Your action is going to be you're going to swanton bomb,
As Klingons do.
as
Yes.
Klingons do.
Yeah. Often in the show and films.
Yeah, obviously this is...
Definitely in the novels.
Oh. The novels are eat up with that. Swanton bomb this. They actually had to put a rule in for the writers. You can't swanton bomb anymore.
Right.
Yep.
After the 4th Enterprise got destroyed by a Klingon swanton bomb.
Well, yeah.
To stop that.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that kept Worf from getting his ass kicked.
Yeah, we have not read a Star Trek.
No.
So I think this is control plus security.
Okay.
It's going to be difficulty 3
Okay.
because you failed. And you got a complication. They're all focusing, all aiming their disruptors at you.
Because it took him 15 minutes to shimmy up that
Yep.
stalag.
They really got into good positions. Just wait for it, Romulan brothers.
This is what is known as telegraphing.
He's clearly going to swanton bomb us.
That is what it is, Kyle. It's a very powerful attack, but it's like the swan kick from
Yeah.
Karate Kid.
You're vulnerable.
I'm sorry, that's a crane kick, sir.
That's
There you go.
watch a Machio.
I'm good.
Roll your dice. Do you want to use your friend's momentum?
Yes.
Get an extra d20.
All right.
You want to give me 2 threat and get another one?
Sure.
I've barely got any over here.
I can use my threatening again, right, Kyle?
Yeah, you just gave me threat, so you'd get a reroll.
So that's 4d20, and I can re-roll 1 die.
Yes.
Target number is 10. And I will be using my leg drop focus.
Noted.
It's going to swanton bomb into the leg drop.
There's a lot of leg there.
Yeah. So that makes my crit range 2.
Alrighty.
All right, that's a 5, a 9, and a 4, plus a 16, which I am going to re-roll. All right, that's an 18, but it doesn't matter because that's 3 successes.
Nice.
Is the fucking secondary character going to win the whole battle for this scenario?
But honestly, he's the most Klingon-like of any
Wow.
of our characters.
It's fucking true.
Hulk a swanton bombs down onto the Romulans. It was faster than they had anticipated. Disruptor blasts go wild. One of them screams, "No, it's the bomb!" as he gets kneed in the face. The other one gets kicked in the face. A third gets punched right into the junk, which, as we all know with Romulans, are right around the upper abdomen.
Yeah. That's good.
That's where their sexual organs are. Everybody knows that.
Right.
Yep.
2 more are simultaneously headbutted.
He's got a large forehead.
Yeah. 2
So-
shirts are ripped off.
So you can roll your damage
Right.
and apply it to all of them. Because I'm a very giving GM.
What is the damage on a swanton?
I believe it's 26 challenge dice.
Got it.
No. We'll say it's 4 challenge dice, since you're spreading it over so many targets.
Okay. 2 4s, but a 1 and a 5, so 3 damage.
Yeah, obviously this is vicious.
I bet that's a vicious attack. Yeah.
Everything on Klingon is vicious.
Yes.
So they go flying, injured, some run, but one of them goes, "For Romulus!" and pulls out a Star Trek grenade. Because I don't know what they're called.
You can always tell we're coming to the end of an adventure.
The old space nade.
Yeah. For the Empire! Okay, I got 1 success, thank God. The pulse grenade, which we'll say the Romulans have an equivalent of that, is 4 challenge die. And I'm going to spend a bunch of this threat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got about 11 challenge dice here.
Okay.
This is partially a complication from his failed top rope.
And thus we have an answer to the question, what you gonna do when Hulka Mania runs wild on you?
Pulse grenade. So I rolled 6 3s and 4s, which is total bullshit.
God.
But I did roll 5 6s. So you take 10 damage.
Hulka has 11.
The pulse grenade explodes, blasting Hulka out of the room, causing a cave-in. You don't see what happens to the other Romulans, but you are nearly dead. I'm pretty sure you take an injury from this because you took
anything over 5.
Yeah, so concussed.
Lofted into the air by the blast of the pulse grenade. He screams, "Eat your vitamins and say your prayer!"
Meanwhile, elsewhere in the cave system, Brandon and Momo come to a long mine shaft, which is clearly a mine shaft. There's traces of minerals clearly visible, mining equipment set up, and in the distance, they see a Klingon android secured by steel bars against one wall. He has a significant wound to his forehead ridges.
I think that's the guy.
Hey, are you the android? Are you okay? And they run over to him and examine his bindings.
There are massive metal bars securing him to the wall, binding equipment laying here and there. He's got a grievous wound to his head, which is bleeding Klingon android blood, and he raises his head. Klingon!
Yeah, that's what we are.
Klingon!
It's not helpful.
Klingon!
Can we turn him off?
Klingon!
What were you here for?
Klingon!
God damn it.
Clearly taken significant injuries. Somewhere else in the cave system, there's a rumble, and everything shakes for a moment. Klingon!
We find out later that in the future he dies saying, "Cling the on! Cling the on!"
Not Klingons! Seems like it took him a lot of effort to get that out. Klingon!
Okay, so we definitely need to get him out of these bindings. Our whole mission is to retrieve the android.
Yeah.
Right. How are you going to do that, sciences, people?
Well,
Do we just take his head?
What?
just the forehead.
That's where the hard drive is.
CPU, yes. So there's mining equipment everywhere. Surely
is.
there's like charges.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he's already fucked up, and he don't have a soul. It's fine.
Yeah,
So we could like blow parts of him up. That'd be fine.
And just scoop them up.
Yeah, we'll put a bag over his head to protect the forehead, or like a box, a bucket. Is there any good buckets?
There's a number of space buckets around.
Okay. Brandon puts a heavily fortified space bucket over his head and tries to find some mining charges to blow up the rest of it.
It says that in stenciled letters on the side of the bucket.
Right.
Heavily fortified space bucket.
You hear a muffled, slightly worried, Klingon!
Now, what's the deal with these metal bars? Were these stuck into the wall and then bent to bind him into place, or did a collapse trap him?
It looks like they've been stuck into the wall and bent into place to stop a super strong android.
Hot damn.
Yes, a collapse of metal bars landed sideways into the wall.
Look, space mining is weird.
Yeah, that's a
That could happen.
Well, that's what I was trying to get the feeling for. Like, if this was like haphazard and could be shifted out of the way, or if it was like very deliberately in place.
Yes, it seems more imprisonment than accident.
Okay. Yeah, I guess let's try the charges. I like that idea.
blow up!
We're Klingons.
Yay!
Okay, so this sounds definitely engineering, right?
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
and what stat or attribute?
Control?
I would want control of explosives.
Right.
Yeah.
Brandon's total on that would be 12.
So I assume your intention here is to blow up part of the rock wall.
Yeah, we don't have to blow up like every place where the bars are moored into the wall, just one side.
Yeah.
So really, we're just going to blow like one arm and one leg off. Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, the Klingon word for explosives is McVeigh.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to assist.
Wait, was that a Timothy McVeigh joke?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You heard it here first.
Apologies to anyone in Oklahoma City. I know that that tragedy still stings, I'm sure.
The only actual play podcast to have a white supremacist terrorist reference from the early 90s.
You know, after I said it, I immediately regretted it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, because for some reason, 9/11 jokes are okay, but
Yeah.
Oklahoma City, just not as funny.
I'm proud of you.
Right. Brother Chuck got Koreshed. That does sound like a Klingon word.
Correct.
You could almost say he was Ruby Ridged.
Yeah. Okay, so Brandon's control and engineering is 12, Austin.
Okay, instead of just straight up assisting, I'll use advisor and assist with my command skill.
Yeah, because honestly, Brandon's not going to do anything on his own.
It's true. So
You're not my real dad.
I'll give instruction and guidance, and we'll use my command and engineer, and that'll be a target number of 11. And that'll also give Corey a 1d20 reroll on his action. That's 11 exactly, so 1 success.
Yay. So what's my target number here to blow up the bars?
Well, it's difficulty 3.
Okay. So rolling my 2d20, I've got a success from Austin there.
All right.
So I need 2 successes. Kyle, take a threat. I'm going to get myself another one here.
I will happily take a threat.
Okay, target number 12. I don't have any focuses here that would really help. Well, maybe. Could I use my focus of don't make me smack you, which is my patience?
Yes, because
Okay.
you want to smack Imcogasm. Klingon!
Shut up. Well, I'm basically thinking like being patient with the explosives and not just smacking, C4 on shit.
Yeah.
Okay, target 12. I get a reroll from Austin, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to reroll my 18. It didn't help. But I got a 1
Nice.
and an 11, so that's 3 successes.
Well, your 1 is a crit.
Yeah.
So 3 plus Austin, so 4.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, but it's mostly me.
You have placed these mining explosives, very small amounts, on one side of Imcogasm's restraints. Just as you're about to activate, you hear a voice, "More Klingons!" And you turn, and in the passageway behind you, there's a Romulan. He's got cuts and bruises all over him. His uniform is torn, but he's holding a disruptor pistol aimed at you. That other stupid Klingon top roped us.
Yeah, he do that.
But now the rest of you are going to die.
Oh, all right, kid. You focus on getting the android out. I'll hold him off. And Momo turns, pointing his disruptor back at the Romulan, and prepares to enter combat while Brandon deals with the explosives.
Okay, so we are in combat. Typically, it would be up to the players to go first, and we're going to do that. So which of you wants to act right out of the gate?
I think Brandon's going to go ahead and blow stuff up so he can enter the fray.
All right.
So what am I rolling to blow it up now?
I think it's just your action. There's just an explosion.
Okay, I do that.
Yeah, so Captain Momo is kind of hoping that the blast, since he's expecting it, will maybe distract or disrupt the Romulan and give him an advantage in his first attack.
I think we'll do this more like a saving throw, like you guys jump out of the way
Okay.
to not be injured.
Cool.
So this will be...
Well, I would imagine fitness would be part of this.
That makes sense, yeah.
And then command? Command of our bodily...
Over self.
Yes.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
Okay. Brandon's got a target number 13 here.
My target number is 12.
It's difficulty 3 to not take damage.
God
Okay.
damn.
We have no momentum.
Aim at his chest, Dick.
But I'm going to use... Kyle, can I use my focus of meditation here to just kind of center myself as I try to avoid damage from the blast?
Sure.
Okay. So that'll make my total crit range a 4.
Well, before we do this, I did just get a successful roll by giving Kyle threat. I got an extra die.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can use my untapped potential here. Whenever the character succeeds at a task for which they bought 1 or more additional dice with momentum or threat, they may roll a d6, and the character receives bonus momentum equal to the roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so roll a challenge die.
Okay? That's a 2, so we got 2 momentum.
Hell yeah.
Well done.
Okay?
You want to each spend 1?
Yeah, sure.
There's a 19, but there's a 7 and a 3. So 3 successes.
I got a 5, a 3, and a 13, so 3 successes.
The mining explosives detonate, sending rocky shrapnel flying through the room. You hear Imcogasm cry, "Klingon!" as he himself is hurled bodily out of his restraints and into the Romulan. Imcogasm shouts, "Klingon!" and begins brutally headbutting the Romulan
Nice.
into the Romulan sternum.
With his bucket.
Yeah, with the bucket on his head. Klingon!
Wait, he's headbutting him in the sternum?
Yeah.
Okay, so going off of what you said earlier, that's like just kicking him in the balls over and over.
Yeah, the Romulan shrieks, "My nads!"
Meanwhile, Brandon and the captain swan kick away.
Yeah, Imcogasm seems fine.
Oh, okay.
Well, other than his previous injuries and the bucket on his head.
Just not a very good android, I guess.
He's a Klingon android. What were you expecting?
I'm a big fan of his work with Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, it's not like this guy was built by LeVar Burton.
So he can't read.
He's a Klingon. Can any of you? I think Zadar might be, but I assume just his chin is translating somehow.
All right, so we run past that fray because Momo noticed that the Romulan said we, and so he's immediately ready for other attackers to enter the battle.
And before we do anything else, can I use untap potential again since I used a momentum to get a die and was successful?
I suppose, yes, technically you can.
Okay. That's a 6, so 1 momentum.
Okay. That's a good talent. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So yes, 2 more Romulans do rush in. One of them is immediately raising a disruptor and aiming it at Momo. And he rolled 2 17s, and as you might expect, his attack rating is not that good. So Disruptor Blast streaks past Momo's head, blasting away some of the exposed monolithium, which is what the Romulans were secretly mining here.
Oh, I see.
Yes. And, well, it's your turn, Austin, since technically Corey took the first by just detonating the explosives.
All right. So Momo's going to dive into a combat roll and come up on one knee, take aim, and fire.
All right.
I can't remember. Do we get bonus for taking aim in this game?
I believe it equates to a free reroll.
All right. My control and security is a total of 12. I do have a focus in disruptors, so my crit range is going to be 3. 6 and a 10, so 2 successes.
Okay, roll your damage or your challenge dice.
All right. Now, Kyle, does bonus damage apply to ranged weapons?
I don't believe so.
Okay. It's 3 challenge die for a disruptor. It is vicious. Damn. 3, 4, and a 5. So 2 points of damage.
So, having taken damage previously from Hulka's Swan Bomb, or whatever nonsense it was called, this Romulan has been seriously injured, and he was also injured by the grenade. So
and the bucket head.
And the bucket head. Well, this is different. This is Romulan just arrived. So his guts are blasted out and splatter across the cave walls as the disruptor rips him in half. The third Romulan, the recently arrived, the one not being headbutted by Imcogasm in his space bucket helmet, aims at Brandon. Oh, that is much better. That is actually definitely going to be a hit. 2 successes. He's firing a disruptor rifle. Brandon is hit with a disruptor beam that does 3 stress damage, Corey.
Oh!
Now, if you have armor on, it would...
Yeah, I have resistance 1.
Okay, so you take 2 stress.
Okay, I'm down to 13.
And it's top of the round, so you or Austin could go first.
Batleth!
I see. We're being very straightforward. All right. There are 2 Romulans remaining, the one being headbutted and the one that just fired at Brandon.
Hey, butthead! And then he attacks the one getting head-butted.
All right. Okay.
With his batleth.
He is somewhat distracted.
And already injured, right?
Yeah, so he will attempt to defend himself in hand-to-hand, but he is going to have a minimum of 2 difficulty to do that. Yeah, needless to say, he did not make that.
Okay.
I got to say, I think this is the Klingoniest episode that we've done since we've been playing this game.
So, Brandon's got a new talent, Order of the Batleth.
I see.
Now, I have a condition that has to be met before I can use it. The character must have succeeded at a particularly bold, risky, daring, or heroic action during combat. I think blowing up the wall and swan kicking away.
I think so.
Okay. So, once per adventure, after rolling for a task, you may do one of the following. Gain 2 bonus momentum on a successful task, or ignore a single complication suffered on the task before the game master announces the effects.
I say go for that bonus momentum, because
Yeah.
you can use that on both the roll or the damage,
Okay.
depending on how you do.
Yeah, and I have to use them now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll get an extra d20 for that.
All right.
Then the other one, if I'm successful, will be damage.
So it's difficulty 1.
Okay. And my focus of, okay, I'm smacking you,
Sure.
comes in here. So that's fitness and security. Target number 16.
Good Lord.
Yep. And my crit range is 5. So got a 3 and a 10 and a 17, so that's 3 successes.
Okay. You just needed 1.
I know.
So you've got a total of 3 momentum there.
Yep. My batleth is 5d6 automatically.
So you want to make that 8d6?
Yep. Up your butt!
Oh, no.
So damage-wise, I got 3 2s and 2 6s. So that's 10 damage altogether.
Yeah. Obviously, he does not have 10 stress.
Okay.
How does this go down?
So Brandon grabs the android by the back of the bucket and slams the bucket hard into the ridgeless forehead of the Romulan,
Okay.
knocking him to the ground. Brandon swan kicks on top of him,
A lot of that.
takes his batleth. It's a two-handed weapon. It's just a big, long blade kind of thing.
Indeed it is.
Places it directly on the forehead.
Your head's like a plain lace, huh?
What the fuck?
It
Is
doesn't
that
ha-
what he says?
It doesn't have ruffles.
Yeah. Yeah.
And slowly starts rocking it back and forth, sawing it into his forehead all the way down to his sternum because, battle is pretty long.
He saws from his forehead to his sternum?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hurting him
I would imagine it does.
Seems like it might sting.
to death and splits him open.
The last Romulan says, I give up. I will surrender peacefully.
Well, that's not our protocol. And Momo fires.
No! He is blasted into chunks. Romulan death scream. Gasm says, Klingon.
Yeah, that's enough of that.
All right, buddy. Well, I guess we'll get you on the ship and take a look at your inner workings and see if you're malfunctioning or if is this just how you talk?
He begins to wallow in the blood of the massacred Romulans. And he says, I am healed by soaking in the blood of my enemies.
That's how Klingon androids work.
Yeah.
This, as all know, this is how Klingon androids work.
I see.
Or the me, really. It's just the me. He takes the space bucket off his head. Thank you for saving me, normal Klingons.
And from the distance coming, you hear slow footsteps come into the room where you guys are, and you hear, "Let me tell you something, brother. Hawka needs a nap."
Hulk emerges into the main mining shaft, and so do Klingon redshirt number 3 and Ram Corporal Barry Hill. Gasm says, Federation! And throws a space bucket.
Oh, no.
And it explodes Ram Corporal Barry Hill.
Oh.
And the Klingon redshirt goes, his blood got on me.
Well, just gather up what you can in the bucket and we'll go back to the ship.
Yes, sir. And he begins shoveling portions of Federation Officer Ram Corporal Barry Hill into the bucket.
Oh.
He died, in case anybody.
Oh, okay.
wasn't
Oh, I
clear.
got it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he didn't make it.
All right, well, back to the ship, I guess. Mission accomplished. Good job, guys.
The moment you hit the surface, Sergeant Herc teleports you all back to the Raj. I thought you'd been underground too long, he shouts as you all appear 3 feet above the deck of the ship. Damn it. And slam into it.
God damn it, my shins.
I already pulled a hammy, brother.
You're pretty sure he's got to be doing this intentionally. Welcome back, Captain.
And welcome to the android. Everybody, this is,
Gasm.
that's right.
Zadar woke up when he hit the floor after being teleported. Where am I?
So what happened down there, android?
I detected the Romulan mine, and I had returned to warn my other Klingon comrades when I found them feasting on tryptophan turkey sandwiches cleverly placed nearby by the Romulans. And of course, no Klingon can refuse a good turkey sandwich regardless of whether or not they find it cunningly laid out on a nice picnic table on an otherwise isolated and completely uninhabited planet.
Under a box held up by a stick.
Yep.
Klingons are dumb.
Hey-ho, don't I know it?
They even misspelled turkey. And it said, parentheses, loaded with tryptophan.
Oh, I see.
But they ate them anyway. And then I was attacked by the Romulans and imprisoned in their mine.
Okay, I'm going to my room.
I like to imagine the Klingon science lab just has one of those flasks from Gremlins 2 that says acid do not throw on face.
A lot of injuries from that flask. You guys have completed the adventure. Well done. Your Klingons return and are hailed as heroes for saving the one Klingon android.
It's a big investment.
Yeah, we're good at this.
Every Star Trek faction gets one android. Those are the we have exhausted all the Star Trek facts I know.
Well, that was a fun mission.
Yeah, I've enjoyed playing this game.
Yeah. Ready to play something else now?
Yeah, it always works out perfect. Right about the time we're getting tired and kind of ready to play something else, we kind of wrap up a pretty in-depth mission.
Yep.
I mean, I've liked all the 2D20 system games we've played.
Oh, yeah.
I really like the 2D20 system. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love how well it fits into most settings and how easily you can kind of adapt it just a little bit to be customized for that setting.
Yeah, it works with pulp stuff, definitely.
Yeah.
You ever rolled dice made out of pulp? They probably got them at NorseFoundry.com.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they got D20s, they got D6s, they got all the Ds.
Let's see.
Just go to NorseFoundry.com. They've got all manner of dice made from all manner of materials. They're beautiful to look at, to hold, and to roll. And when you make your purchase and you're checking out, be sure to enter promo code CHAM. That's CHAM, CHAM, for the Bastard Quest 10% discount at NorseFoundry.com.
Actually, we just changed that. It's discount code MCOGASM.
You figure out how to spell it.
We're not spelling it.
Suddenly our numbers just drop.
That is a joke. Please use Chab.
Yes. Also, thank you to our sponsor, Barrel and Bond, 100 Broadway Street in beautiful downtown Paducah, right there on the banks of the Ohio River.
Got to pee in the bucket in the bathroom.
Ignore the turkey sandwiches.
Well, I'm glad they have the bucket. It's better than just doing it in the floor like we
Yeah.
had to.
Well,
But anyway, as always, thank you to all the patrons who were featured in this episode.
Yep. Killed the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Some of them.
And thanks to all you regular listeners out there who just like listening, like reviewing, like commenting on social media, and following what we do. We appreciate you. We're glad to have you. Thanks for listening.
And if you've never left a review for Bastard Quest, just know that if you do on Spotify, iTunes, or your podcast technology of choice, I will remember you in a prayer to Cthulhu.
But next week, we're going to play a different game.
We are.
Yeah. Don't know what that is.
Yes.
Yep, we'll see.
We will figure it out as soon as I figure it out.
Yep. But it'll probably be something that was suggested on the Discord. So thank you to all the patrons on the Discord for constantly recommending cool shit for us to play.
Absolutely.
And for your patronage to help us pay for all this shit.
Yeah, the games are not free, turns out.
Yeah.
It's weird. We're not in a communist utopia yet.
Yeah. And we do always buy the physical copies, help support the creators and the companies that put these together.
Yeah. And just because it's very worth it seeing a lot of the care that's put into these physical products.
Yeah, and we don't have to keep it at our homes. Kyle just has them stacked everywhere.
Yeah. I have the Indiana Jones archive warehouse. It's just
Yeah.
full of RPG books.
His kids built a fort out of them.
Yeah.
Did. Yeah. The Norse Foundry dice that they throw at you when you approach is very painful. Those are quite heavy.
Man, I hate those D4s.
Oh, my God. Thank you for listening. I'm Kyle.
I'm Todd.
Corey.
I'm Austin.